Good afternoon, everyone. Today we will present about the disease varicella or chickenpox. The microbe that causes the disease is virus. Viruses are neither prokaryote nor eukaryote, since the only characteristic of living things that they have to replicate themselves in other living cells and spread. Viruses are classified by their chemical, physical, and morphological property. Based on this classification, the virus that caused the disease is in Herpesvidae family, and is named varicella zoster virus or VZV. It is also known as human herpesvirus 3, which can only infect in humans. The history of chickenpox. 900 CE, Zachariah Razik was the first recording about information of chickenpox. During 1500, the Albany Philippot discovered chickenpox and gave more details about the disease. Richard Morton gave the name chickenpox in 1684. 1767, William Herbert discovered the difference of the disease between chickenpox and smallpox. Rudolf Steiner discovered cause of chickenpox in 1875. 1909 and 1920, von Bergen suggested about evidence for relationship between chickenpox and shingles that they were related. Garland suggests that zoster was due to reactivation of varicella virus in 1943. In 1952 and 1954, the viral agent of varicella and zoster were first cultivated and were isolated by Thomas Feller. Michiaki Takahashi developed vaccine for prevention of varicella zoster virus that derived from OKA strain in 1974. 1980, herb zoster and acyclovir was created that was done to treat varicella zoster. In 1984, the vaccine was first introduced to high-risk children in Europe. DNA sequence of varicella zoster virus was published by Davison and Scott in 1986. The vaccine was first introduced to high-risk children in Japan in 1986 and was first introduced in Korea in 1988. Chickenpox was subsequently licensed in USA in 1995. American Journal of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene was published in 2001. In the pre-vaccination era, the incidence rate was released from 4 million to 400,000 per year in 2005. In 2006, CDC recommended all children should have vaccination and vaccine reduced risk of herb zoster in recent. So we know the chickenpox more than 500 years since the Albany Philippot discovered.
Chickenpox is a serious disease at the past.
Yes, but the chickenpox now become a normal disease because it already has vaccination.
People understand that only children can be infected by this disease.
I think so, but our understanding changed toward the disease after knowing the history.
Some research say that infections can be someone who has weak immunity.
But this research makes us misunderstand about chickenpox. In fact, it's caused by varicella zoster virus.
So we have the prevention for this virus, right?
Yes, but the vaccination had developed over the time because there are many new species occur. So, people can get the disease more than one time because of new species. At first, we believe that people who once infected by chickenpox will not be infected again because our body have remembered the disease already, but that is not true.
Let's move on to the pathology of chickenpox. Once the virus enters our body, it will go to our respiratory tract. The process goes like this. The virus will use their glycoproteins to bind with the cell receptors of the host cell. Subsequently, the envelope of the virus will fuse with the host cell membrane. Next, the tegument and the nucleocapsid of the virus release in the host cell. Then, the nucleocapsid will take the viral DNA to the nucleus of the host cell. Now, the viral DNA released in the host nucleus and commandeers the host cell to replicate the viral DNA instead of its own. After that, the freshly made virus will spread to infect more host cells. Once this process is complete, the host cell will be dead and the virus will be successfully spread. For the major signs, these signs will be occur before the rash for 1 to 2 days, including headache, fever, loss of appetite, and tiredness. But for children, rash is the first sign of chickenpox. For the symptoms, there are 3 main phases of rash. First, papules, which are red pink or red bumps, last for 1 to 2 days. Second, blisters, which are fluid-filled bumps, lasts for 4 to 5 days. Third, crust, which are hard, dry skin, lasts for 3 to 4 days.
Chickenpox has almost spread to around the world, such as North America and South America, Australia, Asia, Africa, and Europe. It is neither an acquired disease that is communicable or congenital. Annual accident is estimated at 18 to 90 million cases. Infected country can be separated into temperate country and tropical country. In temperate country, 90% of disease occur in teens and before the age of 10 years. But in the tropical areas, there is a large proportion of adult and older age in some countries that is infected. 90% of incidence of varicella in unvaccinated people is in children among 1 to 6 years old, and another 10 is people who are over 14 years. Due to the arrival of vaccine, the rate of new infection declined by 95% from during 1995-1998 to during 2007 and 2012. The rate of mortality declined by 87% during 2008 to 2011. The morbidity declined by 98% during 1995 to 2010. Chickenpox is easily transmitted by people to people. It can be transmitted by contaminated items, coughing and sneezing, directly touching the blister, breathing the small particle from infected people, and this virus can spread quickly in the community like school and family. Babies can get the infection by their mothers, but during the pregnancy, there are only 2% chance of baby to get the infection. Chickenpox for mother will be carried to her bloodstream to babies. The immune system of baby is not strong enough for fighting infection. Then the congenital disease will occur, and it will make the organ to stop develop. There are 90 chances of pregnant women who never had chickenpox to get infection.
For people who are most at risk are children under 12 years, a person whose immune system is attacked by another disease, adults living with children, a person who did organ transplant, especially bone marrow, who are immunocompromised individual, and a person who is on medication that deter the immune system, and pregnant women.
There are many viruses that can go into our bodies and cause disease. So we need to have immune system which is the protection or prevent the invader like virus. It has to fight when the infections come to our body. APC or antigen presenting cell will recognize the foreign antigens and they will engulf and break them down. T cell become activated. Different T cell will release cytokine to promote the resistance of infected cell and to increase amount of B cell. After that, T helper will approach to B cell. Then B cell is active and it will fight to the virus. Some of B cells become plasma B cell to produce antibodies. Some of them become memory B cell to collect information for fighting again. As same as B cell, T cell also turn into memory T cell. CTR will be activated by T helper cell. It starts to find out the infected cell and kill them by using perforin and fast ligand. Immune system deactivates the virus, so they still remains in body. The virus can active after many years. It causes the shingle.
The last part, treatment and vaccination. There's a MMRV vaccine established in 1995. It can cure measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella, which is chickenpox. It contains a small amount of weakened virus that can cause child immune system to respond and make antibodies in order to fight the virus in the vaccine and the disease in the future. But what if we got the disease? Naturally, we can defend the disease by ourselves. But In case that we can defend it, since it is moderate or severe varicella. The problem is solved by the antiviral drug called aciclovir. It can be taken orally or injected into the veins. Once the aciclovir enters our body, it will gain 3 phosphate groups into aciclovir diphosphate. Then, aciclovir diphosphate will block further viral DNA synthesis.